Welcome to another episode of Jeff Reads Lore. Today, thanks to Bon Galabansafe's comment on a previous lore video, we are doing Scarred Llama Mage. This one, I believe, is even longer than yesterday's for Jin Moy Rat. I'm recording these back to back, so hopefully I don't get too raspy, but we'll see how it goes. Here we go. The appearance of crystal werewolves around Shimmer City has caused problems far greater than the disappearance of livestock. The wisest say that deep crystal mining has prodded and awakened ancient magics by which even the ancient ones are mystified. The greatest loss from the wolves' rampages has undoubtedly been the Llama elect. They were once a proud and plentiful people that grazed in the open grasslands of Chimeria. The elect were incredibly skilled in rainbow magic, and sadly, many of their secrets and spells perished with the llamas. Thanks to the bravery of a young Llama Mage named Karina, many of the elect were spared, but they are now living in caves of the Chimean mountains, hunted by the crystal werewolves. For Karina, life would never be the same after that one fateful day. When the werewolves attacked, it was a clear and calm night. The Llama elect were reclining in the soft grasses beneath the light of a blue moon. They came from several directions, and they were after llama blood. All the shield spells, defenses, and heals of the Llama Mages were no match that day for the werewolves. The elders took the front line, so they were the first to fall. Karina led the tribe away quietly as the elder elect perished, one by one, defending their own. When finally the wolves came for the tribe, Karina summoned a mighty rainbow that blinded and disoriented the werewolves, allowing the tribe enough crucial moments to find the safety of a cave. She saw her friends and family find the safety of the cave, and a great load was lifted off her back. Karina knew what she had to do. To her left was the safety of the cave. To her right was the great gap of Evila. If she did not lead the wolves away from the cave, her people would be discovered and lost. In a flash of a bright resolve, Karina took off in a full, noisy gallop toward the gap of Evila. The wolves were close on her tail. She could hear their snarling. Karina hadn't a plan, but with every step that grew between her and those she was so desperate to protect, the smile on her face widened. They would make it, but Karina would have to sacrifice herself. The great gap of Evila was so close now that Karina could smell the ocean below. The crystal werewolves nearly had her, but she knew she would first reach the cliff. As they snapped and lunged for her haunches, Karina took a final, majestic leap into the open sky. The wolves followed her, yelping and scrambling at the rocks. But Karina slipped into a meditative trance, as prescribed by the lost sacred texts of her people. This was the end. But it wasn't! Karina awoke after the passage of some time to find herself in a strange wood. Unlike the crystal forest of home, this forest seemed to be completely alive, curiously watching her with every atom of its existence. As she sat up and looked about, Karina could make out a faint conversation a ways off, like two parents striving not to disturb a child's slumber. Karina snapped a twig, and the conversation abruptly stopped. With a benevolent magical rumble, the ground itself shifted and grew into a mound right in front of her. First, a tiny sprout shot from the new mound. Then, a beautiful plant rapidly grew and started to flower. Karina got to her feet and faced what was now a small tree. For some reason, she was not surprised when the tree began to speak. "You have been unconscious for a fortnight. You are safe here." The tree had seamlessly transformed into a breathtakingly beautiful woman. She had green skin. Her hair has twigs and leaves. Her dress was made of moss. Karina knew in her heart that this was the spirit of the forest herself. So I guess this shouldn't have had a manly voice.
certainly are lucky that the Shimmer Dragon was passing by the Gap of Evila in the moment of your leap of faith,
said the spirit. My woman voice is not great, I apologize. Karina still could not find words. Suddenly, a young man appeared from behind a nearby sapling. He was barefoot, wearing a hat and cloak. He carried a long staff. Karina knew this man. Although she doubted he remembered her, she had met the Magi of the forest at a Shimmer City celebration some years ago. I doubt that luck had anything to do with this, chuckled the Magi as he casually smoked a pipe. The spirit of the Magi then exchanged a glance that suggested they knew more than what they were letting on. Karina brought a hoof to her face, feeling new scar tissue. What was this wound? The Magi could tell that Karina was thinking, You landed upon the back of the Shimmer Dragon, who brought you here in safety. You are in the hungry wood of Anuman, the most secure place in the entire world. On the Shimmer Dragon's back, there is a small area called the Shim Patch. They say this protected area is brighter than the sun and infused with incredible magic. This is where you landed, Karina. You made direct contact with the dragon's Shim Patch. The spirit of the forest spoke.
You will be scarred for the rest of your life, but now the limits of your power are entirely unknown. You may be capable of truly amazing things to unite the Splinterlands.
How do you know my name? Karina finally asked of both the spirit and the Magi. After another long and knowing glance between the elders, the spirit of the forest became a tree again, and wrapped the young llama in a loving embrace.
We know many things, all in time. Rest now.
Karina felt more comfortable here than she had ever felt in the Life Splinter. She hoped and longed for the safety of her tribe, but knew that she had a new destiny now. Karina drifted off into a peaceful slumber. What lore do you want to see next? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.